They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
He'll look to throw, surveying the field. And this one complete to Martellus Bennett. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Gronkowski, slot left. Shift together here from the D-line. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. Second down following the incompletion. He's back to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
So on 4th down, and now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. And an overtime playoff game, but the rules, they stay the same as they did in the regular season.
That's exactly right. Whoever scores first, unless it's a touchdown, the other team has a chance to match. That's how it really gets played out. But remember this, no matter how far we go in overtime, in the regular season, there was only 1 period. Here, we're going to go until we have a winner.
Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Now it's 2nd and 7.
Easy, easy. Hurry up, let's go. Check three. Hey, 53, come on. 53, check. Under 10.
They come out here in the eye. The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed it.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 left here in overtime. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Letting one go deep here for Gronk. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The New York set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
Check 4. 319.
First throw of overtime for Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. 11 yards for number 11. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
On first down, Rodgers. And he finds a man on a crossing route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
Now Gordon on first down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They come out here in the eye. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. They fights him off. Forced out to his left. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Give him 27 yards that time. And the Eagles are going to have a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And now a first down following that long gain. One man in the backfield is Gordon. Now it's Roethlisberger. This is caught. Gronkowski. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
So second and goal here from the 9. They run it here with Gordon. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll be left with 2 remaining here in this overtime session. It's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. So it all comes. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. And that is no good. And we will play on here in overtime. So possible disaster there. It's an empty possession, and there's no worse time to have an empty possession than the first drive of overtime.
Yeah, and remember the situation now, Brandon. It's sudden death from here on out. You can bet he's begging for a chance to redeem himself. But the question now is, will that chance ever come?
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He sets to fire deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown.
We're going to win it.
And let the celebration begin. In an overtime thriller, they're off to the Super Bowl. Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you